It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Story time on me finding out the man I thought was my dad is actually my brother. Bear with me, there's a lot of information. I want to try to add some stuff in here that I went through in my childhood that didn't make sense at the time, but it does now. So I'm going to start off with in February of 1991, my mom marries Mr. Robertson. That's going to be his name in this story. I don't know how long they dated before they got married. That's neither here nor there. They do this whole bickering, back and forth crap. So they're on again. She's not feeling well. He takes her to the doctor. She finds out she's pregnant with me in May of 91. He automatically is just like, I don't know if this kid is mine, because the weeks were not adding up, because, you know, they hadn't been doing anything to be getting pregnant. Okay? So he automatically just assumed this kid ain't mine. He ends up getting some proof that my mother had relations with her father-in-law during this time frame. So he ends up breaking it off with her, and she has to move out. She moves back home, and from the divorce papers it says like they moved out, separated in June of 91. So literally like not long after she found out she was pregnant with me. And I did the math on all this. So my mom was due with me on Martin Luther King Day. I think that was January 20th in 1992. So she got pregnant with me for me, all this stuff. She got pregnant with me in April of 91, found out she was pregnant with me in May of 91 to have me then. So, I don't know how long after the whole breakup in June of 91, she ends up calling my cousin, getting her to come over, ask her to adopt me when I'm born. And my cousin's just like, no, like her and her husband were young, they have a small kid of their own, they're trying to figure out how to be parents. You know, they couldn't do it. So my aunt, which is my mom's sister, she comes down and she volunteers to adopt me. And of course my mom's like, no, because they ain't never liked each other. My grandmother was like, no, she's going to keep the baby and we're going to help her with it. So fast forward over the years, I was not allowed to say the word dad, father. I wasn't allowed to talk about it. I wasn't allowed to ask about it, nothing. So when I got about like 12 to 14, I remember being curious. And this one time in particular, we're standing in the kitchen and I had asked about him, and my mom slapped the shit out of me. I just told her, you know, don't ever hit me like that again, and I was really mad about it. So I never knew anything. Well then, when I was 25, back in 2017, I was in therapy for a whole other reason, and she was just like, Ira, how about you write this letter to your mother asking about your father, see if that way works. I'm like, okay. So I do it the way my therapist tells me to, and it worked. Like, my mom ends up telling me like his name, two of his sisters' names, you know. I find them on Facebook in like 15 minutes. I reach out to them. Ironically, we ended up meeting on Father's Day of 2017, and I mean, he didn't live far from me. Didn't grow up far from me. It was wild. So I, you know, thought, oh, okay, I found my dad and my 6 aunts, because he has 6 sisters. So we're building a relationship. You know, he did tell me 2 different times that I can remember that he was like, Ira, the reason I wasn't around is because I had reservations on if you were mine. Well, I just blew it off as bullcrap, because I thought he was trying to make an excuse for being absent in my life. So I never looked into it. So we continue like to see each other, stuff like that. My mom never had an issue with me, you know, meeting him and building a relationship with him. Just keep that in mind. So in 2020, I had reached out to him, wrote him a really long message. My feelings were hurt because like he didn't come to my cosmetology graduation like years before that. He wouldn't come to my kids' birthday parties and all this. I just couldn't understand why. And I felt like it was okay as long as I'm going to eat with them and I'm going to church with them and I'm putting in all this effort, and he was not putting effort into me. Like, I could not figure out why. So he ends up telling me, I do want to be in yours and your kids' lives. I just do not want to be put in the presence of your mother, and I would really like the opportunity for me to tell you my side of the story. Well, I just put it on like, okay, this is stupid. Why ain't he over this from all these years ago? Like, why can't he be in a room with my mother like 2 hours, or for a birthday party in a room full of, I just couldn't understand it. So I just left him on red. I went on with my life. So fast forward to Father's Day of this year, I make this huge post on Facebook trying to, I want to reach back out to him, rekindle our relationship. And he ends up, I reach back out. He calls me on the Wednesday after Father's Day, and he's like, hey, can you come over Friday at such and such time, and I'll tell you my side. So I initially went, before I went over there, like, I knew there was a cheating scandal in this. I just was not prepared for who it was. So I get over there, and he tells me, and I'm talking about this man is like physically shaking, crying, like bawling, like couldn't get words out. And I can just remember like sitting there like stunned, like it didn't even faze me. I was just shocked. So he said the only way to find out, he has a sister that is living with him right now, and he was like, the only way to find out is if you and this sister do a sibling DNA test, and if it comes back that y'all are siblings, then we know that Clinton is your dad. Clinton is the man I thought was my grandfather. So anyways, we do this DNA test. During the course of all this, my mom lives with me, and I come home, and while she's gone one day, I go through her belongings. I knew where she'd kept some of her important papers from years ago, and one of the very first pieces of paper I find is from a lawyer that Mr. Robertson's lawyer sent her back in 1999. It was like, hey, your husband's obtained my office for divorce from you, but he also wants me to reach out to you to see if you will bring in minor child Ira Stover for a voluntary DNA test. He has reason to believe the child is not his. You have 10 calendar days to answer back to this. So when I was 7 years old, he tried to get a DNA test done on me, and my mom never took me. So that right there did let me know, okay, he legit did second guess me. And for my mom not to send me for a free voluntary DNA test, I mean, it's through the legal system. They would not have to pay for it or whatever. For her not to send me, that spoke volumes to me. So when I told her I found this piece of paper, she still to this day, I've never seen that piece of paper a day in my life, Ira. Lying. Okay? I badgered her for like 2 weeks, like just to see if she would tell me. Like, I was hoping and praying that my mom would tell me about the whole scandal with her father-in-law and be like, okay, Ira, there is a chance that Mr. Robertson's not going to be your daddy. Because it would have hurt a lot less had my mom just came to me and told me. I just wanted to hear it from her. I thought she loved me enough and cared about me enough to tell me before the DNA test proved it. I had never saw a picture of Clinton at all over the years until June 21st. And had I saw a picture of the man I thought was my grandfather, I would have second guessed my mom right then and there, because I look just like him, especially now that my hair's dark. So my mom never said anything, wouldn't admit it. She's been very rude. Like, once she found out that she made negative comments on that Facebook post of mine, I had to delete it, and all of a sudden she was just so mad, like, you need to leave this alone, blah 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 blah. Did not want me to give him a chance to tell his side of the story. Never had a problem with me finding him 7 years ago and building a relationship, but now fast forward 7 years later, she's got an issue with me reaching back out and finding out his story, and it never made sense until now. He's actually my brother. Okay, so when Mr. Robertson and my mother split up, he had an argument with they had words, whatever, with his father about child support. And Mr. Robertson told him, he was like, well, I think the real daddy should pay child support. And Clinton just hung his head down, walked off. So that's when I was like, well, that's weird. I told Mr. Robertson, I was like, that's weird. I said, because your parents paid my mom child support. When I was little, my grandparents paid my mom child support, and she always told me, your grandparents pay child support for your daddy because he's a deadbeat piece of shit that can't keep a job, because he don't want responsibility, all this kind of mess. And then she said she put a stop to the money or whatever. And that never registered with me either. I just always believed she was telling me the truth. So coming to find out, because Mr. Robertson had no idea that his parents were paying my mom. But one of the sisters did when me and her were talking. She was like, yeah, she said, Mama used to tell me we help out Ara's mom when we can. And then they lost touch with us and couldn't find us, and that's when they sold their house and moved to town. I think that was in like 1997. So they lost touch with us, so they just stopped paying. So that's wild. So in reality, Clinton and his wife paid my mom child support because I was Clinton's child. Sorry, my daughter just walked in. Another thing I can never make sense of is Mr. Robertson has a son and a daughter that live in Florida, and we live in Alabama. So I can never understand, like, how in the world, if he's this deadbeat dad, how in the world was he there for his two kids that live in a whole other state, but he denied me from the get-go and didn't ever try to find me or nothing. And I live in the same county as him. I never pieced any of this together. So, almost 2 weeks ago, when the DNA test came back, I printed off the results and went over to my sister's where my mom was, and I told her, when I got there, I put my phone on video, put it face down on the patio table to record. I was like, this is a conversation that I need to record. Thank God I did. So I told her, I was like, the DNA test came back, and Mr. Robertson's not my daddy. And she was like, do what? I said, Clinton is my daddy. And she said, who is that? Like, she literally tried to play like she didn't even know her ex-father-in-law's name. Then it turned into, we never even spoke. I was like, oh, okay. You and Mr. Robertson at one point in time lived with your in-laws, but you never spoke to him. Lie again. Yeah. You done a whole lot more than speaking. So, then she points at the papers. I have them stapled together, and I highlighted the important parts. Me and this sibling came back 99.6% half siblings, so we're fathered by the same man. And she says, what did you do? And she claimed that me, my aunt, and my cousin typed up these DNA results, fabricated it. She said that us three put these results together, and DNA is a lie because Mr. Robertson is my father. Like, still to this day, this DNA test is lying. He is your daddy. I don't know why you're believing his lies. It's always his fault. His fault, his fault, his fault. Nothing's ever her fault. Nothing's ever her fault in her entire life. My favorite part of this whole recording was when she does admit to being mean to me about it growing up. She tried to say, I don't know why you had to go through my things. Back then, we didn't go through people's things. You could have just came to me and asked. I would have told you. And I was like, no. Growing up, you hit me, you cussed me, you screamed at me, you called me names. And she's like, yeah, but that's back then. and you're the one that keeps wanting to talk about the past. Kids don't forget when their parents are that toxic to them. So, I don't know if I said that yet. So, my mom's been living with me for the past year, and I told her, hey, if this comes back, Mr. Robertson's not my daddy, you need to move out of my house. So, obviously, he ain't my daddy, and she's moving out of my house because, and I hate it, like, I would never in a million years, after everything we've been through, how toxic she has been to me growing up, I never would have thought that I would have to cut my mother off. But she played this exactly like I thought she would. And I was making a joke the other day. I was like, well, not the other day, before this came back. I was like, this is going to come back that Clinton is my daddy. And she's going to be like, Maury, that DNA test's a lie. I knew it. I knew that's how she was going to play this. I did have a little bit of hope that, hey, for the sake of our relationship, she is my mom. This is going to come back in favor for her. I mean, I really did. I thought, yeah, she's not being the best, but there's no way my mom would actually lie to me on who my biological father is. Yeah. I have Saturday we got together at one of our sister's houses and we told the rest of the siblings that, hey, I'm their baby sister. Thank God now I can like be public with it and make the story time. A weight lifted off me. I don't have any more worry. They welcomed me in their life when they thought that I was their niece 7 years ago. And they've been loving and understanding and just, I have so much support. And I'm thankful for it, because I really need it. Unfortunately, my dad, he passed away in 2000. I was 8 years old, so I never got to meet him. I never got, I'll never get a chance to have a relationship with him. But I got to go look at pictures of him Saturday and pick out ones, that I wanted. And ironically, there's a picture in there of my mother and Clinton. Oh yeah, cheesing at the camera, honey. But they never spoke. Yeah. Some people, they don't care. They'll just lie. I've learned that the hard way. And one main lesson I learned, it really do be your family sometimes. Wild. I feel like, oh yeah, I know what I was going to tell y'all. This one time, when I was about 12 or 14, I was mad at my mom, something to do with my dad. She wouldn't ever answer questions or anything about him, and she said she had court about child support. So I locked my bedroom door, and I jumped out my window, and I came next door to my grandparents, and when she come home from court, she called my grandparents, asked to speak to me, and she was like, Ira, you need to come home. You're about to have to start going to your daddy's on the weekends, and wanted to talk about this. So, little old me, I was so excited, finally going to get to go to my daddy's. And when I get over there, she was like, that was a lie. I just told you that to get you to come home. I knew you wouldn't come home if I told you the truth. Excuse me?
Mama's a dirtbag.
That's the type of shit she would do to me growing up. But, and my siblings, huge age gap, okay? They are in their 70s and 60s, and I'm 32. But I'm so thankful that they're all still alive, and every one of them was there to get this news, and we're all okay. Thank God. My appetite's back. I'm finally not starving myself. I'm not losing sleep, and
off the drugs.
Shannon's wallet out here.
Oh,
I'll get this water.
yeah.
Leave that.
Oh,
I don't know.
I might need it.
oh, no.
Okay.
What now?
DNA test come back.
And
Billy is not my daddy.
What?
Clinton is my daddy.
Clinton?
Clinton Robertson.
Who's that?
His daddy.
That is a lie.
Me and Peggy did a sibling DNA test. We are half siblings, 99.6%.
Well, you and told me what Becca did to change all that?
No, it was printed out from an email from me and Peggy doing a DNA test.
Me and Clinton?
Yeah, you and Clinton.
No, I don't think so. Me and Billy.
Okay. That's fine. DNA does not lie.
Well, I don't know when the hell that come up as because me and Billy was together.
During that breakup, before you got him to get back together with you, you were pregnant with me, and it wasn't his.
I was not pregnant with until me and him was together, Ava.
Okay,
So believe me if you want to.
that's fine. But DNA don't lie.
I will. I can't help it. Billy's your daddy.
No, he's not. He's my brother.
You're lying.
No,
I
I'm
don't believe
not.
that.
I know. That's exactly what I knew you would say. I knew that you would tell me that the DNA test is lying.
Man, me and his daddy never talk. I mean, if I was used me having sex with his daddy,
I don't know.
that's disgusting.
I don't know.
I wouldn't do that.
I don't care what you did, but I have my proof. That's why he wanted the DNA test in 1999 that you never took me for. Now it all glues together and makes sense. I love you. I don't hate you at all. But I have my proof. At the end of the day, you're my mom. It doesn't change that. I'm not.
I don't know you.
You don't know me?
I cannot believe that you're taking this over me.
I never said I was choosing that over you.
I cannot believe you stoop so low and do me that way.
I would stoop that low and do you that way? To do a DNA test to know that he's wanted since 1999?
I didn't get that letter. I didn't even know. He brought it up the day in court, wanted one. I said fine, but when he found out it had to be $500, he changed his mind.
Okay, Mom, I don't care about what happened then.
But
I don't
me
even
and
care
Clinton,
about...
me and his daddy never had sex.
Okay.
Me and his daddy wasn't even around one another.
Okay,
Nothing like that ever happened.
okay,
Billy is lying to you from day one.
okay.
Yeah. That is sickening.
Okay,
That I would shoot that damn low and do something like that. I'm not that person.
okay.
Don't okay me when I'm not.
What else you want me to say, Mom?
This is terrible.
I don't know what else you want me to say.
Me and his daddy hardly ever talked. Me and his daddy didn't even speak or nothing.
Okay.
And you think I stooped something that low and having sex with him and knowing that he's my father-in-law?
I don't know.
Billy is your daddy.
Okay.
I cannot believe he would shoot that low and you believe somebody like him.
I believe
and all this.
the DNA.
Yeah,
I believe mine and Peggy's mouth swabs that was sent to a lab.
I don't.
I do. I sure do.
My Billy didn't want to take one.
Because if I do a father-daughter with him, it's going to pop up he's not my daddy.
He is your daddy.
No, that's why you do a sibling one to see if you're parented by the same person.
I don't believe that.
Okay, that's fine. That's all I wanted to show you, and this is your coffee.
I don't want coffee.
Okay.
No, I don't. Cannot believe you bring up something that lie like that.
DNA don't lie, Mama.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
That's disgusting.
But she did
Billy's
it.
your daddy. He came to the hospital today. Toby said he came to the hospital the day he was born. And there's that, oh, Rebecca this, Rebecca that. Rebecca thought she was pregnant before her and James got married.
Okay, I don't care. This
No,
has nothing
you
to
never
do.
does,
I
but you
don't
don't
care
hear about it
about-
all. You want to brought all that up.
I don't
So
care
I
about
sit back and they
who's,
just called me about that day. Yeah, we told you, I want to talk to Rebecca and all this. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Yeah, I dated one of his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and him went out, but it wasn't none to it. The guy I went out with was James's friend. Yeah, was divorced.
Mm-hmm.
He had a daughter and a son. Wasn't nothing to me. But I never did once call Rebecca and tell her, take me this, take me here and there, whatever. told me
take
either.
you here and there.
Yeah,
Nobody
take me
said
anywhere.
you
Well,
did.
yeah, you did. You said, oh, you
No.
called me crying. No, I never called Rebecca. Rebecca thought she was pregnant before her and James got married.
That isn't what I said.
Okay, I'm just telling you.
I did say
So-
you went out with a friend and you lied
Yeah.
and said you didn't. And now
I
you're
didn't
telling
say
me
that.
you
I
did.
did.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm how you
And
bring
I
out the
said,
past.
and I don't care about the past,
Okay, then.
Mother, because
But
you
this
lied
right
to me
here.
so much.
No, I have not lied to you. I have told you from day one.
You don't have to
You're the
lie.
one who has to go in here behind my back. You go in my stuff. And I didn't have nothing to hide. All your divorce papers is that. All you had to do is just ask me instead of going to my stuff.
No, because it was never that simple growing up.
Yeah, well, no, well, back then we didn't go in people's stuff.
No, back then you hit me and you screamed at me and you cussed me and you called me names every time I asked about him.
Yeah, because I didn't want to talk about it, Ava. But this right here, I don't want it.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I know that Billy's your daddy.
Okay.
Now.
Billy ain't the daddy.
So blame me if you don't. I don't care.
Okay.
Now. You don't have nothing to do with me, that's fine.
I said, you're my mom, I still love you, I don't hate you, I'm not mad. And you said you don't know me. Like, you're disowning me.
No, it's just that it's just hurting my feelings. You believe in a bunch
So
of
if you
lies
want to
and
disown me, go ahead.
stuff. No. I just cannot believe you saying to you and
Well, I want you
Peggy
to know
and
that I'm
everybody else.
filing the paperwork to change my last name to Robertson. I'm changing my last name legally.
Okay. He's the one who told me not to use your last name, his last name on you.
That's fine. And I told him, however this plays out,
Oh.
dad or brother, that I'm changing my name to Robertson because it's biologically mine. It belongs to me. I've never had a biological last name. And he said he would be honored for me to have Robertson as a last name.
Yeah, I bet he would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet he would. So you've been in your life all these 30-something years, and all of a sudden you want to talk to him. And I try to tell you how he was. Oh, I'm the liar.
He wasn't in my life because of this.
He wasn't in your life because he told me he didn't have nothing to do with you.
I wonder why.
I don't know why, Ava. He told me from me not to call you him when you was born. Don't call him that you know nothing, and I didn't.
I know, you done told me this my
Okay,
whole
then.
life.
Then why you call me a liar now?
Mother, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm saying I believe these DNA results.
I don't believe that.
That's fine.
I don't want the paper.
Okay. I'm sure you don't.
I don't. Because I know the truth.
Okay.
Billy's your daddy. Him and that McIntyre lived beside
That has
Helen.
nothing to do
I'm
with
just
any of
telling you.
this.
I'm
Mama, I
tired of
already
you coming
know
along. Okay,
this.
then.
You've already told me this.
Yeah, but you still don't believe me. You go behind my back or whatever. I didn't go behind your back. I told you he
I
was your
did
daddy.
not say that I don't believe he dated this guy or girl and done this and done that and yada yada yada. Whatever you tell me, okay.
But you don't
But
believe me though.
he
You don't know
has-
how.
Mother?
You looking like you don't know me. You don't believe me.
Because this is the truth. This
No,
don't
it's
lie.
not.
This don't lie.
Well, me and his daddy didn't even talk.
Okay.
I was with Billy when we separated. I was at Mama's and Daddy's. I did not go
Okay.
back. He told me not to come back up there, and I did.
I already know that.
You must not, because you believe that trash. I don't want it,
That's fine.
because I know that Billy's your daddy, so.
That's fine. That would be like you looking at Granny proving that Jimmy Stover was not your daddy. And
I didn't know
saying,
none of
and her
that.
saying, oh, the DNA test is lying. Because if you swab your mouse, test the DNA, DNA does not lie. It's who you are.
Now that about what Mama did, I don't know.
If you and Toby done a DNA test, you would come back as half siblings, not full, because you do not have the same daddy.
I figured that. But nobody.
Just like me and
yeah.
Ashley are half sisters, so we don't have the same daddy.
Right. I know that. I know all that.
That's how it works. DNA does not lie.
Well, that's a lie.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is. Now, yes, it is.
I've come to peace with it.
Mhm.
So it is what it is.
Well,
Okay, that's fine.
no, I wouldn't never stoop that low and going and sleeping with somebody that I know was my fault no wrong.
Okay.
I have more respect to myself than that.
Okay.
Now,
Well, that's all I came to say.
Going back home.
Okay, so here is the picture of my father. It was one of the first pictures I saw of him.
That's her daddy.
And immediately I was like, oh my God, that is my face. So I just done a comparison of
Clinton's her
a
daddy.
picture of me from like 2 weeks ago with no makeup. And it's just wild to me. When I
They look
showed
the
my
same
mother
age.
this photo, she was like, y'all look nothing alike. Nothing alike. Yeah. So just leave it here.
All right. If y'all aren't confused by now, because we hella confused. You know what's confusing me the most? Is that she was born in 91 or 92. She was conceived in 91, probably born in 92. But she looked like she was conceived in like 72. It's just a personal observation of mine. I'm just saying, look a little old, chick. Looking a little old. Somebody said, why she scratching a lot? I could tell you why. It's methed up, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, golly, dog. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Our older the berry, the sweeter the juice. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I figured it out. I was hella confused. Okay. So, her mom was married to that guy. The mom had an affair with the guy's dad and got pregnant by the guy's dad. And the mom, and that's why it broke the guy's heart, because the dad was actually sleeping with his son's wife and got her pregnant. So that's how her dad is, the man who she thought was her dad is actually her brother. Because the first part was hella confusing, but now it makes sense. Now it actually makes sense. Although she could still pass for one of her 70-year-old brothers and sisters. I'm just saying. Let's clear the confusion, because we are confused, sister. Lord. I'm glad she got this detailed out, because anybody else confused around them? Let's clear the confusion. My mom and Billy were married. She slept with his dad, Clinton, her father-in-law. So Billy and his 6 sisters. That's why she cut off the comments. Billy and his 6 sisters are all my half siblings because we're all fathered by Clinton. A sibling DNA test proved this because Clinton is not alive. Yes, Clinton and his wife paid my mom child support. My mom never took me for a voluntary DNA test that Billy requested with his lawyer in 1999. Yes, my mother still denies it and knows she is no longer in my life. Also, I'm turning the comments off on these posts because it's too much. I can't even keep up. Thank you to the ones that have been nice to me and let me know that I'm not alone in this.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as quick as 1 week.